Have you ever seen one of those beautiful mobile party carts at a wedding or a big event and thought, I wish I could have one of those for my business? A custom built cart like this can easily run you between 3 and 5 grand. But what if I told you that you could build the exact cart yourself in your own garage with basic tools? This isn't just a party cart. It's a fully foldable, fits in a standard sedan and sets up in minutes. And in this video I'm going to show you every single step of how I build it. Whether you want to start a mobile party business or just build this to sell to others, this is your DIY project. Stick around because by the end of this video you will see exactly how it's done. Welcome! I'm so glad you are here. The demand for these mobile party carts, from charcuterie tables to mobile coffee bars and dessert displays, is absolutely booming. I get close to 20 requests a month to build these, and I cannot keep up with the demand. The market is huge, and it's a fantastic opportunity for anyone who loves to build things. The best part about this specific design is how practical it is. It's lightweight, it's easy to transport, and can be customized for any event. Wedding, birthdays, corporate parties, you name it. It's a truly year-round business, especially if you live in the Sun Belt. Before we get our hands dirty, a quick heads up. This video is full step-by-step tutorial that will walk you through the entire build. However, this is just a blueprint. If you want the full in-depth course with all the detailed measurements, cut lists and downloadable PDF plans, I have put a link in the description below. That's where you will find everything you need to build this cart confidently and without any guesswork. Alright, let's start on the cart. And step 1 will be to cut everything for the main body. I'm working with a standard 4x8 sheets of 1/2 inch birch plywood. You can use 3/4 inch plywood if you want something sturdier, but 1/2 inch is plenty strong for this design and it keeps the weight down, which is huge plus for transportation. We need to cut 3 main panels, a front panel and 2 side panels. The front panel will be 5 feet long. I'm using my Makita track saw for perfectly straight cuts, but you can absolutely use a circular saw with a straight edge guide. Also, if you have a Home Depot close by, they offer a cutting service so you can pre-cut everything at the store. Once the front panel is cut, I'm gonna mark and cut 2 side panels. They will be each 2 feet wide. Make sure to follow the dimensions in the full course plans for all the precise measurements. Next, I'm going to cut the small notches you see here. These are crucial for locking the table into place and giving it a solid feel. I'll use my track saw for the long cuts and finish the corners with a jigsaw. With our 3 main pieces cut, it's time to assemble the body. I'm going to use these extra long support strips to attach the hinges. I'm using a combination of wood glue and my brad nailer to secure them to the inside of the front panel. I have already pre-cut these strips and you will find all the dimensions for them in the downloadable plans. But you get the structure idea here. A quick pro tip: using these support pieces is essential. Without them, the screws from your hinges will go right through the side of your cart. These pieces add strength and give you a solid surface to work with. Now I'm gonna attach the hinges. This part can be tricky to do alone, so grab a friend or a partner to help you hold the side panels in place while you're connecting the hinges. See how nicely it folds? That's the secret to making this cart so easy to transport. Once the hinges are in, now it's time to build the bottom base. This is the piece that makes the entire cart mobile, so it's an essential step if you want to be able to roll your cart from your car to the event location. Again, I'm starting with a full sheet of 1/2 inch birch plywood. The base is designed to be slightly larger than the cart body, so it gives us a small overhang for a clean finished look and makes it easy to align. You will find all the specific measurements in the downloadable plans. I'm creating a frame for the base and adding a center support piece for extra strength. It's crucial to make sure this base is solid because it's going to support the entire weight of the cart and whatever you put on top of it. After the frame is built, I attach the top panel. I always dry fit everything first and use a square to make sure my corners are perfect. Once it's all aligned, I will apply wood glue and secure it with brad nails. I'm adding to the corners these small square blocks. I'm using 3/4 inch plywood for this to give the screws a solid anchor. When we attach the wheels, the screws will only go into these blocks, not through the base itself. This keeps the inside of the cart clean and gives you more usable storage space. Finally, I'll use a compact router with a flash trim bit to clean up any excess overhang, giving the base a perfect professional finish. Then I'll cut the small notches so the cart body can lock right into place. Once the cutouts are made, it's time to add the wheels. I'm using small casters here, but feel free to use bigger wheels if you prefer. Just pre-drill your holes and secure them into place. Just like that, your mobile base is ready to go. Now it's time to build the shelf. The beauty of this design is that the shelf height is completely customizable. You can put it wherever you need it to be, higher for taller items or lower for more compact storage. I'm placing mine right in the middle. I have already measured and cut my shelf panels from the same half-inch birch plywood. I'm also adding a small front lip to the shelf, which serves two purposes. It gives it much more professional polished look and it adds a lot of strength to the shelf itself. I will attach the lip with both wood glue and screws. Notice that I have made a small cutout on each side of the shelf. This allows it to slide right past the hinge support and rest securely on the shelf blocks we installed earlier. This design makes the shelf super stable without any extra hardware. I will quickly fill the screw holes with wood filler and then we are ready to test it. And look at that. The shelf fits perfectly and it's nice and strong. Now for the tabletop. This is the centerpiece of the whole cart, so we want it to look great. Just like before, I'm starting with a half-inch birch plywood, cut to size. For the frame, I'm using select pine boards from a hardware store. Pretty sure you can find them in your local store as well. To attach them cleanly, I'll use a crack pocket hole jig. This tool creates hidden holes for screws so you get a seamless professional finish without any visible fasteners. I'm metering all four corners at 45-degree angle for a tight picture frame style look. If you don't have a meter saw, you can still use the same butt joint and overlap method we used on the body of the cart. It still looks great. I like to place small pieces of cardboard under the tabletop while I'm attaching the frame. This slightly lifts the tabletop so you can ensure your screws don't go all the way through and everything lines up perfectly. Once the frame is attached, I'll use a flush trim bit on my compact router to clean up the overhang, then I'll sand everything down to a smooth finished surface. If you're using your cart for a coffee bar or dessert table, you can actually skip this step. Your tabletop is finished, but if you want to turn it into a charcuterie board, you need to cut out holes for your serving containers. I'm using my jigsaw to cut the holes, which is perfect for this task. You'll need a larger drill bit to create a starting hole for the blade. And then you just follow your marked lines. The key here is to measure your containers carefully. There are so many different sizes out there to be sure to tailor the holes to the containers you plan to use. I have included links to the exact containers I use in this video, you can find them in the description. This method is super precise and you can see how perfectly the container drops right in. The table is almost complete, but the details are what makes it truly stand out. First, let's add the front design. I'm using a simple trim board from a hardware store, cut at 45-degree angle to create the sleek square frame. This gives you a perfect center space for a custom logo, lettering or a backlit design, which is an amazing feature for weddings and nighttime events. Next, I'm adding an optional side shelf. It's a great add-on because it gives you a ton of extra serving space without making the cart any bigger for transportation. I got these brackets from Amazon, and the links are included under this video as well. I'm building a mini tabletop for the shelf using the same crack jig method we used earlier. Then I'll attach the brackets to the side of the cart. This is an amazing upgrade to offer if you're building these for clients. It adds so much value and functionality. Finally, I'm taking my palm router with a small round over bit to soften all the sharp edges on the tabletop. This is a small detail, but it makes the cart safer and gives it much more professional, polished look. I guess it's a little things that set your work apart. Okay, we have built the body, the base, the shelf and the tabletop. Now it's time for the final step. Painting and staining. For the tabletop and side shelves, I'm using beautiful wood stain. I will apply it with a sponge applicator and wipe off the excess. Remember, stain only gives you your color. For protection, you must apply a durable clear coat on top. This is a must, since the table will be used for food and drinks. As you see, I'm working out of my garage. I don't have a dedicated paint room, but I found a great solution to make it work. I'm building a little temporary paint booth using simple materials. Just a few support poles and clear plastic sheeting. It's super easy to set up and it keeps the paint contained, so it doesn't go all over the garage. This pole setup I got from Amazon. Love the functionality. It's super easy and quick to set up and to break it down after use. I will include the link under this video. To paint and clear coat, I'm using the spray gun. This system comes with the turbine. As you see here, I have two different brands for the turbine and the spray paint. At first, I bought Earlex HVLP system, but the spray gun broke, so I had to replace it, and I replaced it with the brand Titan, which works great. Let's move on to painting. Always paint before you clear coat, to make sure you don't overspray some paint accidentally on the clear coated items. You can use any paint. I'm using just a regular one, but if you're planning to use this table for outdoor most of the times, I would suggest you use exterior grade paint. Outdoor paint holds up much better to sunlight and moisture. It won't turn yellow, fade or get damaged by the sun exposure like interior paint. And for the clear coat, it's depending on your budget. You have few options. Some are more expensive than others, but most of them work really well. If you're not sure which one to choose, I recommend the brand I'm using in this lesson. It's easy to find and works great. If your hardware store doesn't carry it, just ask someone there for help. Tell them you are building a tabletop and you want something durable that works with either a spray gun or a brush. Most of these finishes come in versions for both. And here is the result. The tabletop is fully painted, clear coated and ready to be used for your events. Thanks for watching and see you in the next build.